we come up with gold, then we have gold. Yes. Dude, I had this weird dream. Like I was in this room where I was in this room where there was just this one mirror, and when I looked into it, it wasn't me. It was an actor, but I was Woody Harrelson. Stay with me. And I was wearing what he wore in the Hunger Games, like the loose, like obviously like drunkard, you know, like fancy but like loose kind of stuff. And I remember I remember pulling out a flask. This is all while I'm looking in the mirror, and I pull out a flask and I take a sip, and it was like icing. It wasn't, liquor. It was icing that was like liquid enough to just like pour out. But it wasn't like mixed with water or anything. It was like it was molten hot, but it wasn't hot. You know what I mean? It was weird. Like, and then I woke up. Like I don't understand. Like it was me. Like I knew it was me, but I looked like Woody Harrelson. And this is just a dream I had, and I don't know why. Does that mean I'm a psychopath, or does that mean I have mental issues?
Let's break down the dream here.
Let's not.
So mirrors in dreams usually mean a part or a reflection of something, and if you're looking at yourself, that means it's something about yourself. So brain just randomly generates people, so I don't know why Woody...
I wasn't even watching anything.
So it was older. It was older Woody, not Cheers Day?
No, it was like Woody Harrelson from like the Planet of the Apes movie where he was bald.
Okay.
But he was wearing the clothes from the Hunger Games.
Weird.
Yeah.
And then taking a drink of icing.
Icing, yeah.
Out of a flask.
Yeah. What does that tell you?
No idea.
What does that tell you?
Well, the flask is, I guess, synonymous with drinking.
I'm not an alcoholic. At least I don't think I am.
Or maybe it's the future. I hope not.
Could you explain why it's icing?
Because icing is sweet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have diabetes at some point.
Are you gonna turn into a white man? that part's likely.
I'm gonna turn into a bald white man with diabetes. That's my.
It's pretty logical.
Dream confirmed. No.
That's what it means.
I don't know. Dreams scientists still don't know what caused dreams or where in the brain.
Well, here's a spooky fact. You know how if you ever had dreams where there's like multiple people, like extras, like running around and stuff? Those are faces you've seen. Those are faces that you've seen, like walking around through your day. Your brain like takes like photos of them and then uses them in your dream. So all the people that you see in your dream are people that you have seen, but you just don't remember them or don't know who they are. And everything. So I think that's really spooky because I remember hearing that and going to sleep, and then I was in a dream with a bunch of people. I was just like, oh gosh, they're all coming to get me. Like all these people who have seen me and I know their faces. It's so weird, like how our brain works. It's like so trippy, right?
My stance, and I don't even think this is right, but I like to think that dreams don't mean anything. They're just random stuff your brain picked up. People try to read so much into dreams, and I'm just like, nah, bro, it was just random crap that my brain had left over, and it was too active.
Well, I've had a few dreams come true.
I've had
a few dreams actually happen, and then you're in that moment where you're like,
yeah,
I have a dream.
Yeah.
When I dream about stuff like, I'm failing my last semester, I'm not going to graduate. And I realized I graduated 2 years ago. I'm like, no, that dream means nothing.
It's oddly interesting.
Maybe you're going to go to master. Maybe you're going to go for your master's, maybe.
And fail. No.
That would suck.
I guess
fail at your master's? You just don't finish.
Yeah, you can fail a class.
Or you could be in your grad school for like 20 years and never graduate. That would be a massive failure.
Yes, that would be.
Jesus.
Yes, indeed.
That is strange. I always wonder, because we see people every day. Do you ever wonder if the people that we see, like, they're just there? And not to spark the we're in a simulation thing, but do you think those people exist strictly because you are seeing them, or do you think that they've been there the whole time?
Well, it's like, I mean, it's a similar thought with like motorcycles.
Yeah. Like, for instance, if you travel...
I was waiting for someone to be like, wait, what?
No, it makes sense.
I was waiting what in my head.
Yeah. Well, no, the thing is, though, it's like motorcycles, like smaller objects, like they don't like exist in your head unless you see them, like out of your peripherals, right? Like,
yeah.
Like it's the idea of like it's something that's not in your immediate sight, like in your mind, like it's not that it doesn't exist. It's because we have object permanence. So it's like if I turn my back to you guys, I know you're still there.
Yeah.
But where'd you go? No, I'm kidding. But it's the idea of like it's not immediately in front of you, so you're not registering it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
like when a motorcycle passes you in the left lane, it just happens. It was there.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah, but
it exists, but not for you. Maybe.
Right.
It's just like you don't. It's not in your world.
Yeah.
It's there, but you don't recognize it, so it doesn't exist for you, basically.
Yeah, that kind of thought. Yeah.
You ever think that? Like when you travel and you go somewhere new, the idea that everything around you is existent strictly because it was put into place by something else or someone else?
No, I think it's...
Like someone describes a town to you. They're like, oh, have you ever been to, like, Boise, Idaho?
No, I haven't.
And people will describe what's there. But then when you get there, there's that sense of, like, not anonymous, like when you go there, you don't exactly feel like it is the same place that was described to you.
I don't really have that. I have more of like an existential thing where I'll, for example, if I travel when I fly over to Germany, I'll have these moments where I'm sitting there and I'll be thinking to myself, man, like all of this is existing, like without me being here.
Yeah.
And that's like another crazy thing, like like things exist and are happening that aren't in your immediate field of view, and not to the realization like the world doesn't revolve around me, but
I'm meaningless and I don't matter. No,
yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, it's
to some extent,
like realistically, yeah, it's like we are the small insignificant thing that, where you're like, oh, the world is moving without me,
mm-hmm.
and there are things happening where I'm not immediately there, and then you realize that without thinking it when you hear news, like global news and like stuff happening other places, and you're like, oh, like that thing's happening over there while I'm doing this here, and but you don't realize that because you're in the middle of doing your own thing, and you're like, I'm doing this here now, and these things are happening around me, but then stuff is still going on, and I think I have more of that existential thing sometimes because it's like I heard this thing that people are stupid, but I saw this. I can't remember if it was a tweet or whatever, but it was this guy was like, I just realized that Europe has like they're like 9 hours ahead of us. Why didn't they warn us about 9/11? And I'm like, wow. People like that guy hasn't gotten the concept yet. Like that, stuff is going on.
Wow.
Time.
Yeah. People are really, really slow.
Time is a man-made object.
Time is a man-made construction. But yeah, so it's just weird to think about how like stuff's going on and we're here doing things. So
mm-hmm. That's why I play video games and don't think about it. No, I think about it a lot.
Yeah, it's like render distance in video games.
It's not there till you, yeah.
So if I become nearsighted, does that mean things are faster and better graphics?
If I fly from here to Germany, does that mean I'm going forward in time?
Am I fast traveling?
Except it's so slow.
I'm fast traveling for 13 hours. Going there takes shorter. It takes me about 10 hours.
You think it takes you 10 hours?
Well, I don't think I know because I see time go by on my phone and I'm dying.
What if it's an interview?
Well, I'm dying. No. Real talk. I hate flying. Flying is I hate it so much.
Really?
I'm definitely afraid of heights. So when I signed on to do this long distance relationship thing, I didn't think that through. That I would be most likely doing this for the rest of my life. Whether I'm flying out to see her or we're married and we're flying to see my family or her family, I'm going to be on a plane for a good chunk of my life after this. And I didn't realize that. And I have my friend Douglas who was just like, and I was like talking about like how we were talking about like being up in a building or whatever, like really high up. I'm just like, oh, man, I would hate having a job working at like on the sky on a like a high rise building.
Yeah.
I would be like constantly like anxious all the time. And he's just like, I said like that's why I hate flying. And he's just like, you realize you're gonna be on a plane for like most of your life now, right? Since you're dating this girl in Germany. I'm like, damn it. Obviously, that wasn't enough to deter me from being in a relationship with her. Like after knowing that, I still like I put a ring on it. But man, it's like I hate flying so much. Like my butthole gets so tight when like if I was smuggling anything in my butt, like it would be crushed and it would be unusable after like before and after my flight, because as we're going up, dude, like no air is getting out of my asshole like when I'm flying up, because it's just like just airtight. Just I hate the rise up, and I hate coming down. That's like almost just as bad, because it's like, because in my mind I'm like, man, the landing gear is gonna fail, like something. Like I'm not afraid of flying. I'm afraid of suddenly not flying. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. I'm just all of a sudden going like, ladies and gentlemen, we will be like hearing this announcement over the. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, we will be. I have some good news and bad news. Good news is we'll be landing shortly. Bad news is it's a crash landing, and you know
pray to your God.
Yeah, pray to your God if you have one, and
if not,
unless you're an atheist,
you better beat that Angry Birds going right there. You better.
It's like
Flappy Bird is only.
Yeah, there's the atheist standing, like sitting there, just like, oh, this is a God-finding experience for me. I hate flying so much.
You know what they say? People aren't afraid of heights; they're afraid of the sudden stop at the bottom.
Yes, you were absolutely correct. But the thing is, though, the higher you are, the more that sucks. One of the things is, the higher you are, the more time you have to think about that sudden stop. That's what kills me. Mm-hmm. That's what kills me. Like I see. The thing is that my brain is my worst enemy. Because, well, no, not my brain. My imagination is my own worst enemy, because I think of the most messed up crap, for no reason.
Oh my goodness!
Like
my territory.
I'm sitting in a plane. I'm looking out the window. I always get the window seat. I don't know why. And I'm always in a plane that's so cramped that I can't like switch seats with another person. I'm always stuck with that seat, and I'm just like. And they're like, "Sir, can you open your thing?" No. And I remember. Oh, this messed me up. They're like, "Sir, can you open the blind when we're during takeoff?" I'm like, and I'm finally, because I've been asked to do that almost all the time. And I'm always next to the wing, which I always see the wing shape. That's always that fucks with me. And so many times when they're asking me that, I'm like, "Man, why do you need us to have these open while we take off?" And verbatim, she goes, it's like, well, if something goes wrong with the engine, we need you to be our eyes.
What?
Pardon me? You're telling me that you guys don't do that before we leave? The off chance something goes wrong, I have to be the guy? You don't want me to do that, because
You'd be like,
why did you tell us? I was trying to.
Yeah. No, here's the thing. I will be so panicked. No matter, nothing I say will be audible.
It'd be,
I'll just be like, ah! and they'll, and someone will freak out and they'll be like, what? I'm like, yeah, exactly. So, oh man, I'm not the guy for that. They ask you like, oh, if you're by the emergency exits, will you be able to? I'm like, no, I won't, because I will be selfish. I'll be like, parachute for me. Yeah. See ya. Oh man,
5,000. You gotta skydive to get rid of that fear, though. It usually gets rid of it.
Does it though?
Yeah.
Nope.
Both my
no, because with my luck, I will get the chute and the backup chute that doesn't work with my luck. So, no, I'm not testing that.
They're pretty good with the new ones.
That's cool. That's cool.
I don't get an old one.
No, I mean they have. I mean
that's like life. Like I think it's like life is. So you can't have older ones.
That's cool and everything, but I don't have the best luck in the world. I'm just not going to.
People have survived falling out of planes.
That's cool. How are they now?
People have also not survived.
That is true. Most have not, but it is possible.
I was going to say, you can survive, but what life is that afterwards? After that, you know what I mean?
It just depends on how you find a way to stop.
If I survived that, like,
did I really?
It's like, did I? Yeah, it's like, did I really? It's like, just kill me after that. Like, don't. Just, it's a mercy killing at that point. Like, I'm not. Like no offense to people that are disabled, but I don't want to be. I don't want to live. That's, to me, for me anyway.
Yeah.
For me, that's not a life that I would want to live.
Well, it's not nobody wants to be disabled.
Oh no, yeah.
You're saying if you lost a left leg, you wouldn't want to live anymore?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I mean, like, if I'm to the point where I can't move anything below my neck, and that's most likely what would happen if I survived a freaking skydiving accident. I'd be so jacked up that, well, all I can do is this now. If that. And
what's funny is...
And so so for me, because I like doing things. I like going out, I like playing sports, I like doing that. And if I can't do that, like if I can't find joy in life doing that, then I don't want to do that.
Just wait for them to make the Sword Art Online tech real, and then...
Dude, they will have that when I die. Because the best stuff always comes when I leave. Like, it's like when I leave school, they have a better, like, arts entertainment studio now. It's like, like, I'm leaving this place. Oh, now they're getting new this. So it's like, the moment I die, they're gonna get all the best crap. The moment, like,
there'll be no more loading screens.
Nope.
Everything will...
They'll just start immediately. There'll be no like
DLC.
There'll be no more
cords.
There no more DLC. No more
power cords. Everything's wireless power.
No more no more like microtransactions. It's just the whole game comes out, and
when it comes out,
and there's no loading times, and like all of that. Literally, the day after I die is when that's going to happen. I'm calling it now. Like if
By the way, we have this cure to cancer, which is what Evan died of.
Exactly. No, okay. I'm really jaded in my thinking. I think they have the cure. They're just like
they totally do. It's way too much of an industry for them to actually release it.
Yeah,
and
because they're making too much money on chemotherapy, which it sounds really messed up that they're not.
But that is human nature.
Yeah. For instance,
there's an industry for coming out with new things to treat cancer. Yeah. But if it came out with a cure for it,
it's the same with car industry. Everything's made to break. It's not made to last anymore. Everything's made with materials that have known to be able to break.
Well, no. Here's the thing: they're made with materials that are known to break, not necessarily because they want it to break, but more it's good enough so that it can last long enough. It can last long enough for you to get the new car, but also
it's like with phones too.
But it's also because it's cheaper.
Yeah,
they use cheaper materials that are just good enough to last you those 4 or 5 years until you can afford to get them.
Well, they don't realize that they're screwing their industry, though. When you use cheaper materials, you get a cheaper product. You have to sell it for cheaper. When you get something like Mercedes-Benz, where a lot of their stuff is made out of tested, treated steel and everything, and it's high quality, you're paying more, but you're getting more.
Yeah. And I think you're getting a car that will last you it's like 10, 20 years easy if you take care of it.
Yeah, my uncle had a Mercedes-Benz from 1960, and it was running perfectly until he sold it.
Right, exactly.
And it was just like...
and then it just stopped after he sold it.
It was very strange.
Yeah, it was weird. It's almost like the engine got taken out of it.
Yeah.
It was like this. There was this like Irish company or something that made... I don't remember what they made. It was like ovens or something, but basically... They went out of business because their ovens were so good they lasted like 100 years. So everyone bought an oven, and it was just like, we don't need to buy one again, so they didn't have anything to sell. So
they couldn't make something. They couldn't make like a toaster or something.
I don't know. This was a long time ago.
They couldn't make something else that people could last for 100 years. Just branch out and make other things.
That is true.
If you're in that situation, just like find something else that people need. And
maybe they suck at making things. I don't know. Maybe they deserve to go out of business.
We're really good at making ovens. That's it.
It's like they say, a doctor you only see once is the best doctor you ever have.
Yeah. My favorite doctor is the eye doctor. I hate when the dentist shove stuff in my mouth and start asking me questions. The hell is that? It's like, so how's your family? That's interesting. You don't know what I said. I said
they died in a fire.
I just said they died in a fire and it's your fault. So you just agreed with me. I'm suing your ass.
It's like, I'm going to stab you with a sharp object. Can you feel that?
It's like,
if I could tell you.
It's like, I don't know. Ask my bleeding gums. Oh, man.
It's like they say, everyone has symptoms of things, but it's up to doctors to find what it's from.
Oh my gosh!
Like, really?
Well, no, that's why I love. Okay, it's going back to cars. There's this mechanic that I go to, the Alley Gardens, auto shop over here. They are awesome because they tell you what you need and they don't try to sell you anything else. And they're really honest guys, and I really appreciate them. I'm giving them a shout out. Ryan, him and his brother run the auto shop down there, and they have helped me out a lot, and they're really cool guys. I want to plug them, and if you live in the San Diego area and you're having car trouble, go to the Alley Gardens off of Zion. They have the little bug on top of their yeah. They're awesome. Tell them Evan sent you. They are they don't have to pay me to tell you this. Like, I'm telling you because they've earned that respect.
Evan, this just came in. The check came in.
Okay, cool. All right. So, new topic. No.
It's not like they're, you need a new exhaust pipe, but you don't really, but we're not going to tell you that yet.
Oh, no, for sure. They won't say, this is starting to look bad, so maybe you should replace it while we're doing this.
Right.
No, just because it's, a little dirty or a little old, they will say, okay, look, I took a look in your car, and this is wrong because this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this is starting to go bad because you're burning up too much oil. And they'll explain why something's going on, so you know for the future. So if you go somewhere and another mechanic tries to tell you, oh, this is wrong because this, and you can call them out and be like, well, actually, isn't it because this? And they'd be like, oh, well, then never mind. And then they won't try to sell you that. So they're really, really cool guys, and I think. If you ever have car trouble, go there, please. They're awesome guys. Mm-hmm. I know you probably have the manufacturer thing from Ford that you could probably take it to, but
well, for Mr. Ford himself.
For the Mustang,
Mr. Ford is still kicking.
Yeah, for the Mustang, I do most of my own work, but for the other one, I take it to Lincoln because,
he's also better.
What?
But I mean, swing by there. They're really cool guys, and they're very successful to get a lot of business because they're such.
Good mechanics are very hard to come by. I would make a terrible mechanic. Somebody would come in and they'd bring me a VW bug. I'd be like, you know what this needs? A B6 with 2 turbos and 3-foot suspension. Let's do this. You got the money?
You got the money for it, by the way?
It needs to not be a bug.
Yeah. No, it's when when me and Lotta are living together and we have our own car. I'm only taking it there, and if she needs to take it, she's only taking it there. She's not. We're not taking it anywhere.
Driving it across the ocean to get it fixed.
Well, obviously, when we live here, smarty pants.
That'd be cool. Get an import car. Get a BMW from Germany. That'd be so cool.
Okay, that's one thing that I'm curious about. I've seen a driver's license. Wow. What's wrong with me? Not driver's license either. Freaking license plates. There you go. Words.
You've seen driver's licenses?
Yeah. When I check that the person who's using the credit card, that's actually the right one. That's when I worked in customer service. Someone was like, "Why do you have to see my ID?" Because you don't look like a Bartholomew. That's why. But yeah, so I see people with Hawaii
license.
What is wrong with me? Hawaii license plates. Can you order those specifically from Hawaii to have them here, or is that a car that was imported over here from Hawaii?
You can order them from there. So if you buy a car that's in Arizona, more than likely it'll have Arizona plates. But every car is going to come from the manufacturer. It's just wherever the district is selling it.
Right.
So it's just from a dealer. If there's a Ford dealer in Hawaii and you buy it, they'll probably have Hawaiian plates, and then you ship it over here.
Okay.
Same with
I wasn't sure. I was just
It's just super expensive. That's why
I was just gonna say I was like, wow, how did you get it here?
See, right? Chitty chitty bang bang across the ocean there.
Is that a James Bond car?
Yeah.
Is it go gadget water skis?
Well, Aston Martin's making a remake of the DB11 from James Bond, and, it has all the toys and tricks. It has oil slick stuff, fake license plate flipping. It's super cool.
It's very illegal.
And
very illegal.
But very cool. I think you have to have the same plate. You can just have it in different textiles, where you can have like the German long plates and then regular plate.
So like, how much would that cost? Do you think?
Oh, God, I can't imagine. Probably
3 easy payments.
The DB11 was one of their best cars, especially because of the James Bond film.
Yeah, made it more popular.
Oh yeah, so it's got to be over 100,000 easily. All those cars are usually a bank account ready to be spent.
Gosh,
but
I don't even have.
It's ridiculous.
One CEO's salary for the year,
right? It's a house down payment most of the time. It's like even regular cars.
That's what my mom says. She's like, if I have enough money to buy one of those cars that costs as much as a house, I'm just gonna buy a house.
Yeah.
Like, why would I buy a car that's worth a house?
Then you can.
I'm just gonna buy a house. I'm like,
easy,
right? Duh. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. She, in her mind, my mom's awesome because and it's not even like buying a house for her. She'd be like, if I have enough money to buy a car that's as expensive as a house, I'm gonna go out and find someone who needs a house and just buy them a house. That's what she means by buying a house, because it's like, because like she doesn't need to buy a house because she's paid off the house that we live in, and whatever. But she says that, you know, if I ever come across that much money, or if I ever come into that much money, I'm gonna buy someone a house. Like, I'm not.
But not you, Evan, or your sisters. Just some random stranger on the street.
Yeah. Well, my mom is gonna help me find a used car.
Yeah.
We're trying to sell the Pathfinder right now,
but not a house.
Try Craigslist. There's always good stuff on Craigslist.
Well, the thing is that she has connections with dealers and stuff. So she can help me find a good deal off of that. Mm-hmm. And also, Ryan and the guys down at the auto shop, they helped me. Oh, they bought my Camry when I had it. They bought it. They bought it when it was like useless. It had run its course and it had died. So they. Like the engine was like dead. Like it was dried out. There's nothing they could do to fix it. It was a dead car. So they're like, well, we'll buy it from you because no one else is going to buy this car. So we'll buy it from you. And I told her, like, you know, this car, the Pathfinder's like 13, 14 years old. It's an old car. No, it's 14. Yeah, it's 2018. So yeah, she got it in like 2004. So it's an old car. But yeah, so they're thinking, you know, like, hey, can you guys help us sell this car? Because you guys have helped us, you know, fix it and get it to work, to keep it working. Mm-hmm.
And usually they're the people that buy cars from too. My mechanic that does my dad's stuff. Whenever someone's old or they're getting rid of a car, they'll usually come in and do the oil change, and they're the first to know when they're selling a car.
Yeah.
So and they'll probably know.
Oh yeah, for sure. They've helped us before, and they know that we're getting ready to sell it, not out of necessity, because you could still get like a good 5 years out of this car.
But for you want.
But for me, yeah, it's out of practicality. It's it's getting close to like 9 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's like 10. It's teetering on 10 and 9 right now.
Might as well buy a diesel truck at that mileage.
Oh man, so bad.
So what ones are you thinking?
Well, a lot of needs a small car. She's driven the Pathfinder and she does not like it.
Really?
She just doesn't feel comfortable in a big car. That's her thing, which I get, and I agree. I think we should get a smaller car because that'd be better gas mileage wise. And
they make really good,
and that'll be better. Like, it'll also be better with like typically a smaller car. You have like the least like the lighter like insurance payments and stuff like that too. Typically, and especially if you're not getting like a sports car or something. If we're just getting like a 4-door sedan, it's pretty cheap. But and the gas mileage is pretty good. But I think we're going to be looking somewhere maybe like Honda, like a Honda Accord or something. What?
Ooh.
What?
Buy American made.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like I've only had Japanese cars like Toyota, and I've had Nissan, and they've been good for me. So I'm gonna
settle down, Uncle Sam.
I mean, Well, the thing is, my only experience with American cars has been terrible. My dad had a PT Cruiser, and he paid more.
Aww.
He paid more fixing it than he did for the actual car.
I remember that car.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you remember. Yeah, you remember. Yeah. So that's American-made car, Chrysler. So
Chrysler's the furthest. They make everything overseas.
Yeah,
it's like
Chrysler. Okay, the Dodge. My mom had a Dodge that she had to give back because that was giving her crap. So, I don't have a lot of good experience with because you didn't buy Ford.
No,
dodged a bullet there.
That's like the one. That's like the one out of the four.
Yeah.
It's like
maybe you couldn't afford it.
I'm sorry. If I'm batting 1,000 with like a certain like country brand, like if I'm batting 1,000 with with my Toyota, with my Nissan, and then I'm just gonna keep going with that. I'm not gonna switch to the other side.
Maybe it'll work this time.
If I'm batting 1,000 from the left side, I'm not gonna switch over to the right just to see how it feels. You know what I mean? Yeah. I get it. Freaking. Oh no, never mind. He didn't. I thought Nick. Nick got a car. Nick got a truck.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's a Toyota something. Toyota
4Runner.
Tacoma. Yeah, Tacoma. There we go. Tacoma. Toyota 4Runner. Okay, Toyota Tacoma. Yeah, and it's a similar color similar color paint to my car.
Nice.
Yeah, it's similar like brown bronze kind of color. Yeah. So, I didn't tell you guys, or I think I did. I'll tell you guys a lot of things. Lotta got a Skype interview with one of the research labs up in La Jolla.
Whoa!
Nice.
Yeah.
Search Research Institute.
I think so. It was a German-based company.
Oh.
As in, you know the name? Well, because it started in Germany. No.
I don't know.
It started in Germany, and they have labs there in Germany, obviously.
Right.
And then they set one up over here. So her boss that she works under now knows that she's moving here, and that he knows the lady that heads the research lab over here in La Jolla. So he reached out to her and said and highly recommended Lotta and said like, hey, like she's like one of my best people that works here, like would you consider like taking her for a job, like here's like some of her research and stuff like that. And they reached out to her and said like, hey, like would you be down for like a Skype meeting like some like September, like during like September 4th, like the week of September 4th of this coming week,
right?
And she knows someone who works at their lab in Germany, and he said that they think very highly of recommendations, stuff like that, and it's a good sign, the fact that they reached out to you for an interview. Yeah. That means that they wouldn't reach out unless they had intentions of hiring you.
Yeah.
So we're like,
nice.
Yeah. So that's like really exciting, and we and now like we're starting to change where we're looking for a place to live and stuff like that, because we want to get a place that's probably closer up there instead of like on the other side of the 8 over here. So we were looking for places like in Kearny Mesa. We found a place that was kind of nice. It's like that was like a 1-bedroom for like $1,200 or something.
Yeah,
which is pretty good.
Miramar is good too. They're not too far. You can look in like
with the place that we found. It was like the freeway was right there, and then she could just go straight across.
Off the 52.
Off the 52, yeah, where like the 52 meets the 15, right where La Jolla is, right there.
You mean the 5?
Oh, the 5. Sorry, I always get the 5 and 15 mixed up. I'm sorry.
They're both garbage.
They're both garbage, and they're both at the 5.
Yep.
Off the 5. Yeah.
5 out of 10.
Where the 5 and the 52 meet, and La Jolla spits you out right over there. So we found a spot that's like right by the freeway that she can just jump on if we need to. Yeah. So. It's just the baby steps at a time, and we still have to freaking hear back from the immigration office. I'm still waiting. I know. It's like you get a letter in the mail. Like I have to wait for a letter. Like I can't get an email. I can't get a call. The least efficient way nowadays to get information. And they're doing that.
That's the immigration office.
The old post office.
I mean, I guess it's nice because we can have hard documentation, but I can just print out.
Well, they can also like send you one later to have it.
Yeah, I can also just print out the email and have it. Like, I don't need...
You can probably just find the format for it, fill it out, except for the code that makes it legal, and just be like, just call me. Just text me the code, and I'll write it. Done.
I'll type it there. Text me the receipt number on it.
Yeah.
Just do that, please. So we're waiting with bated breath on that, and basically once we hear back is when we'll start, like, putting money down for, like, wedding venue and stuff like that. What's frustrating is that it's very time sensitive, and if we wait any longer, like, we will have to push the wedding back to probably sometime like in April for, like, Easter, because
Easter wedding.
Yeah, because only because if we wait longer, it'll like plane tickets to San Diego will be more expensive.
Yeah,
and like during that time, during like the end of December, beginning of January, her friends and family are still on holiday. But if we wait till like later, like in February, they won't be. So we want to do it when most of her friends and family can still come.
Right. So
So the next next time they will have holidays around Easter. So if we have to wait any longer, then we'll have to push it back. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to probably do a summer wedding because that's a whole other. Plane tickets will go much like the planes.
They just go straight up.
Yeah. Just vertical takeoff.
And then they come back down.
No, not even vertical. They just go horizontal. And everyone just like squishes on the street.
That'd be terrible. Space elevator.
Imagine.
I can't believe it. I think that in the range of stupid ideas, a space elevator has to be one of the stupidest. Those are the only things from Cowboy Bebop I'm like, that sounds terrible. How do you manage that?
Well, no, there was this this is stupid, in the Yu-Gi-Oh movie that came out.
Oh, yeah.
The Dark Dimension or whatever, Kaiba had a space elevator.
I'm like, make a teleporter for Christ's sake, like,
or just take a rocket up to your space station.
Like, honestly, it's so
pretentious.
It's impossible for one.
Yeah,
and then secondly, it's like, okay, so you defied gravity in physics. Why? You're gonna stand for like an hour and a half while you go shoot out into space?
Oh, more than an hour and a half.
No, the thing is though, he has a lab up there in space.
Yeah, but I'm like,
but it's like
you couldn't build it on the ground. Like, why is it in space?
Like, because I can.
Yeah,
I have green hair.
Because in space, no one can hear me.
No one can hear me cry.
The thing is, though, there's gravity in it. Like, you can still like walk, and it's not like
So it's just like, why have it there? When
I don't know.
There's no reason.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Ego.
Because you can't build after a certain height. Because as soon as you leave the troposphere, you immediately come into what's called gravitational force.
Okay, nerd.
I find these things okay, so
that's why you're a nerd.
So the steps to the future are as such. We first have
steps to the future are as such.
We need to make cloning a thing, which we're starting to.
We're starting to perfect it. Yeah.
And then once that's possible, we need transfer of brain intellect into computer. Then once those two things have happened, we can make an actual like human clone. Then from that will be the start of the future. Because then we'll be able to do teleporting. Because all we have to do is deconstruct our body and then download our brain into another body, and then that's teleporting. That's as far as we're going to get. And then when that happens, then we can do time travel. But up to the point where we make a time machine, that's the point people can travel to. Because it's impossible to reverse the flow of.
Imagine teleporting the way you're describing it, having copies of your body in different places.
That's how it would be.
You just like destroy the other body.
That's all you do.
Well, no, not destroying. You're just downloading your consciousness from one body into your clone's body.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
You would become a literal flash drive when using a teleporter. Because you would be deconstructing what you are.
Yeah, but then you'd have to pay to have your clone in certain areas.
It's like, oh, I gotta cut my finger out. Let me teleport.
But honestly, we wouldn't need to teleport once cloning is a thing. Because at that point, we'd have clones do all the work and we could travel and do whatever we want. It would just be a point of like, when you can afford a clone to work for you, then you can do what you want.
You can afford to do.
But wouldn't like every clone have different experiences and basically another person?
It would be
unless you robot. Share your brain.
It'd be like Detroit.
Yeah.
The game, not the...
It's never about the city. It's never about the city.
Oh, we went through the whole podcast without doing a freaking Detroit joke.
Hey,
Right.
we did it.
Right, I think we were Nathaniel and I were talking about it when you were in there doing your yakety sax piano playing or whatever.
Oh.
At
Yakking sax?
yakety sax. I don't
I
know.
heard grandpa sex, but I don't know.
Okay.
Very just.
Okay, so
I did not want to see your Google search.
I've been noticing like when I go to the bathroom, like
Oh, thanks.
I'm not a
better.
doctor, but go ahead.
No, don't.
like every once in a while, like my
Gaffing piano sax. What was that about?
Sorry, okay. Oh, but we were joking. We were talking about how like we've been making a lot of Detroit jokes and how we should just kind of like accept it.
Yeah.
At least how I should accept it because I'm very like don't joke about it. I should
Don't defend them. They live there. They know what they're about. When people make shitty like gay surfer jokes, we know we're in San Diego. That's how it is.
Okay, that's fair.
Or when they make like, oh, I can't throw a stone without hitting a taco place. They're right. It's just a thing.
That's fair.
You know.
And that's what I want. Give me tacos everywhere.
You know, you can't go to.
Give me tacos and gay surfers. Yeah, that's what I want.
You know,
Give me gay server.
I can't walk a mile without getting sexually harassed. People know they live in Malibu. That's just how it is.
Oh.
I can't walk a mile without getting shot in the. No.
You
No more
it's
Detroit.
Like, it's like
No more Detroit.
I can't walk a mile without seeing a Cuban. That's New York, obviously.
I can't walk a mile, period. You're in Death Valley. Help us! Melting into a puddle.
You can't walk a mile without smelling pot. I'm in Colorado.
You're obviously having hallucinations if you're saying help us.
That's true.
You're seeing your clones.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted, but not this way.
Not like this. No. Dude.
They need to do climate control. Did you just fart?
Speaking of climate control,
That's the closest the Brown will see to the Super Bowl, my friend.
Oh man, dude, they cut Michael Kendricks.
I know. I saw that and I was just like,
What's the point of signing it? Okay,
Yeah.
all right, whatever.
My Eagles finally got a win against the Giants. I don't know if they're playing coy coming off the Super Bowl or if they're legitimate. They lost to the Browns, so I'm like,
Wait, the Eagles? They didn't play the Giants in the preseason? No, they didn't.
they did. This is Thursday's game. Or the Jets, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say,
I'm sorry.
they don't play.
They're both terrible. I get them mixed up.
You don't play division rivals.
I know.
In the preseason,
I know.
dude.
I get them mixed up. I always get the Jets and Giants. They're in the same city. Give me a break. And they're both terrible.
Yeah, that is true.
They're both terrible. Yeah. So we finally got. Yeah,
I was gonna say the
Browns.
Eagles are playing the Falcons this week.
First game.
Yeah, Thursday
Here we
night.
go.
The beginning of the 0-16 season for the Eagles.
I know.
I would love
That's
that.
the worry.
I would love that actually.
I know you would.
No, just I would love to see the. It's not even a fall. It's not even the fall from grace. It's the dramatic tumble down the stairs.
Yeah, I know. That's like when you graduate high school and then you start college. You're just like, dude, I just finished high school, bro. I got as good as I could.
This is
the best you're gonna see.
This is my peak.
Yeah. We don't need to.
That was me.
Man. He's the guy who makes the fake articles about stuff.
You're the dude that makes the clickbait. Wow.
Clickbait.
I almost wrote clickbait articles. Some of them are bordering on clickbait, but I almost got a gig where I was going to write clickbait articles. I'm very glad I didn't get that.
You know what's funny?
I love that gig.
You know what's funny? I click on those articles or whatever. They're mostly like I click on the ones with like quizzes or whatever because I'm curious about different ones. Like which Frozen character are you? I don't know.
Which type of potato are you?
Yeah, I'm a sweet potato, by the way.
Sweet potato over here. Goddamn russet potatoes. That's where it's now.
I saw this picture of the stock photo of this girl out like sitting eating dinner with like some guy, but like you couldn't see his face. It was just like you saw like behind his head, and it was mostly a girl. And then the the name of the article like underneath scrotal tongue and symptoms.
What?
Do you think the girl that took that stock photo knew that that's what the stock photo was gonna be used for? An article on scrotal tea.
I'm gonna go with yes.
What if they told her about it and then she's just like gets her family around for the post and just, everyone's waiting. It's just like, oh, I can't wait. This is my career. This is where it's starting. Yeah,
family event to see a stock photo veiled for an article.
Yep. And then,
that's the worst type of clickbait.
Aubrey,
the best? I don't know.
What do you mean?
It's the worst.
Why would it be the best?
Let's move on.
Okay.
Boo.
Did you hear Jerry Jones, good old Jerry Jones, trying to screw the league again and trying to change the format?
What did
he wants 2 preseason games and then 18 season games. Like, Jerry, what is wrong with you?
Well, no. Did you hear what the Raiders did this morning?
What did they do this morning?
They traded someone.
No, they didn't.
Who are you thinking?
Charizard.
No, but you're close.
Charizard.
It was a score.
They did.
Someone who's been having contract disputes and who's been holding out until he got a new contract.
Oh, okay. That's not who I thought it was.
Well, so they traded. The Bears traded 2 first-round picks, I think.
Not interested on all the YouTube just to keep me in the black.
Yeah. Oh no. Good. No, because here's the thing. I rented it from Redbox.
Oh yeah, I saw that on
for
the text.
for a 3-day thing. I told you. Yeah. I got it 10 o'clock in the morning, and I played it till 10:30 that night. And
no one blames you.
I completed the story in 2 days, and I was 85% done with it by the time I turned it back in.
Good for you, man. That's like that's some proud cannonballing skills right there.
And the thing is, though, I'm not bored with it.
Oh, I wouldn't be
at all. Yeah. I still want to play it more, and oh my gosh, it's
because it's in. I don't know if you want to hear this, but isn't it like more of like an Arkham kind of feel?
The mechanics are.
Yeah.
The combat mechanics are, but a majority of it is still kind of its own thing. We'll have our own review on this channel where we'll talk about that more, and I will go into full details about that.
Yeah, I'll be thrilled. It's like Arkham. I loved Arkham.
Well, the Arkham. Well, there are the Arkham like combat mechanics. They're very similar, but they're not.
Like the graphics,
but the only graphics, that's the other like major difference, obviously. But there's still enough that they introduce in this game that makes it its own thing. So it's not a copy and paste Arkham game, but it's still it has a hint of it, and you'll be familiar with it, so you'll be able to pick it up easily if you've played the Arkham games. But this is this is good. And I love this very much, and you can have so much fun, like using different gadgets and stuff like that. Oh, it's so good.
It's been a good year for revival of good
games.
I say good games, but it's been like God of War.
Yeah, a good year for like revival of like old video game characters that haven't had a game in a while. Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Yeah, and PS4 has been in the forefront of most of them, if not all of them.
Who would have known?
Call me.
This dude's an Xbox.
Oh, I know.
I'm more PC than Xbox. I haven't played Xbox and.
Well, you're on the wrong podcast. We're on the wrong podcast because we don't care about being politically correct.
No, I've been playing.
Sorry, that was the worst joke.
I will boot up my Xbox once Forza Horizon 4 comes out. Gotta play Halo Infinity because I have all the other Halos. Gotta play that one. Excuse me?
Come on.
Halo's okay.
You gotta admit, Halo 4...
Early Halo is really good.
Yeah.
The later Halos haven't been good.
Early Halo's good because when we were kids, we didn't know any better.
Wow.
Well, it was also before Call of Duty, but Call of Duty has also just tanked.
I mean, also because we were younger and we didn't know any better.
Well, yeah.
Well, it was the tech at the time, though.
Yeah, I know. That's cool.
It was the best at the time. I'm not saying, although the remaster of Halo 1 was really good. I really liked how they did that. And the remaster, a lot of the remasters have been good, too. Halo, Gears of War, that was a good one. I've been wanting to play the... what's the other one? Anyway.